So, so they're finally releasing. Somebody is doing the original cut of Star Wars. Again, the 1977 cut on film. They're going to show it in a movie theater in London.
Oh, okay.
And I
Like
really,
a
I kind of want to go.
like what do you mean by original cut?
The original cut.
Like no fake CGI stuff?
No special edition, nothing at all, nothing.
Oh shit. Well, I say just do it.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
can get away to London in June. Because that's where they're doing it. Because of course they won't do it here. They're doing it in London.
Yeah. London's not that far. I think you could pop over and pop back before anyone knows.
I don't think so. My cat is attempting to eat things off of my desk.
Oh, wow.
Because all the animals are here because nobody else is in my house because my wife and child are gone. And so
Are they in right now?
they're in San Diego, where it is sunny and 76.
Look, the sunshine is overrated, okay?
It's really, really not.
It kind of is.
It's really not. We need it desperately.
Do we? I don't know. That's why we have coffee.
We did. The kitty left. She wandered off. She crawled underneath the camera line here on the desk. Also, apparently my camera wants to defocus all of a sudden. There we go. See, this is what happens. Stupid machines.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yay. So,
Yeah.
they're in San Diego because we're going to the zoo.
That's really good because I think they should definitely check out the penguins because I'm not sure if the penguins are happy with us now or like not happy with us. I'm not sure where we are with the penguin.
I think the penguins are upset with us.
Yeah, since we did a trade war with them.
Yes, but we'll get to that later on the show. Speaking of the show, it is the Error Code Show for April 10th, your place for news, pop culture, politics, gaming, whatever the hell else we want to talk about. If you'd like to support the show, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch sub, and so you can give us Amazon some money. So you can go ahead and click that subscribe button and use your Prime sub to subscribe to the channel. Also, we are trying to march our way toward monetization on YouTube. I cannot express how much commenting, liking, and sharing to your other social media platforms helps us with the algorithm demons. Okay? The algorithm demons demand sacrifice, and that sacrifice is likes, comments, and shares, right? Because that really pushes us out there. Anyway, what are we talking about on today's show? We're talking tariffs. We're talking the business of video game movies and the fact that we don't own anything anymore. Jay, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
There we go.
I'm doing great.
Yeah. There we go. As always, I'm Alex. That's Jay. Let's jump into our first segment tonight. And a couple of gamers have decided to sue Ubisoft over their decision to no longer allow play of the popular 2009 game The Crew, right? Using some novel interpretations of California's gift card laws and the fact that they can't expire and other consumer protection stuff, they're claiming Ubisoft's decision to shut down servers required to boot the game violate consumer protection laws. This is not the first time this controversy has come up in the gaming industry and really applies to all levels of digital and physical distribution. So, what do we think is going to happen now? First off, Jay, do you know that you don't own anything anymore?
No, don't say that. You're gonna freak people out. Okay, it's been a rocky like 4 weeks, and you're gonna freak people out.
I am not.
You're gonna freak them out. You're definitely going to like scare them.
But you don't own anything anymore.
I totally own. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna grab something that I own.
He's gonna grab things. And actually, we're going to talk about this because chat's like, but hey, it's a physical. Yeah, see that you kind of own. The two plaintiffs, the hinging behind this whole thing is this: plaintiffs Alan Liu and Matt Castle say they bought physical copies of the game, so they didn't just buy digital ones. They bought physical copies of the game in November 2018 and early 2020, respectively. Right. The decision to delist the game was announced by Ubisoft in December 2023 before it was taken offline and made unable to be played in March of 2024. So even though they had physical copies of the game, you still can't play it. So this is stepping it up. What do you think? As he shakes his head.
Oh God. I was gonna say this is why you should move away from console gaming and have like PCs. But then like they're just gonna take your Steam library away. I don't really know. Why can't like there has to be some level of freak out evidently at all times. Like it's like, oh, we're gonna freak you out with tariffs. Haha. Just kidding. And I know that's a later subject. I don't know why I keep bringing that up. But then it's like, oh, we're fine now. Oh, but now you don't own any of your video games. Rah! Like, why is there always a level of freak out right now?
I don't know. The reason I feel like this was a little bit different is when you're doing digital only, I think people in their minds don't equate it to a physical thing. Like you just held up the comic book, right?
Yes.
But when you buy a physical copy of a game, a disc, right? In your mind, at least, you should be able to play that as long as you are able to play that. I have where did I put them? Over there somewhere. There are physical Sega games, right? I own those games. As long as I keep care of them, I can stick them in the Sega Genesis that I own and play them, right? Sega cannot go into my system and like delist it and make it impossible for me to play them anymore. That's the only area where I see this one being different. Steam, we know it's digital. Apple, we know it's digital. So I think there's an element psychologically here where you're like, okay, I get it. Like they're going to delist weird shit and I'm going to get irritated. But it's a physical game. Does that change your calculus on this? Because they bought discs.
Yes. Thank you. That is all. No. No, I mean, yeah, if you have a physical disc, I feel like you should be able to play the game, like period. Like I don't oh God. I really don't understand like how people thought this wouldn't open the door for lawsuits. Like I don't know. What's next? Are they going to come for our like Blu-rays and our DVDs and our CDs and our LimeWire?
I don't know. Again, that's the question. Somebody's bringing up the Super Nintendo Mini. Yeah, when Nintendo released that, again, it's not connected to the internet. So as long as you own it, you can play it. You know, I think the biggest change here really is the digital part. The other thing that they're talking about is download codes being equated to gift cards, right? Now in the state of California, and actually similarly in the state of Washington where we are, gift cards cannot legally expire, right? If I buy a gift card to Best Buy, they can't be like, you must use this before, next year. They're not allowed to legally expire. So they're equating the download code is the equivalent of a gift card. Which is a novel interpretation.
I don't know how I feel about that. Because, like, on the back end of things, I can see where that's an issue. Because, like, you have to have a server somewhere with this game stored and then all the codes to download the game, like, in a database somewhere. And that does cost money. You can't I feel like you can't run that for like 20 years or 30 years forever. Like there has to be some sort of cutoff point for that.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
Um, Again, I think we should watch this one closely. I think this might be precedent setting, right? Because wouldn't it be nice if your stinking Steam library didn't go away, and you know your Steam library is not transferable right now, right? Like if you
Yeah.
died, you can't give your Steam library to your wife.
I don't think she would want it, to be honest. I mean,
Well,
I haven't
what
checked, but
what about OctoKitty? What if OctoKitty wanted your Steam library?
I mean, OctoKitty totally wants my Steam
I'm
library.
telling you.
Yeah. Uh,
So it appears that chat mostly agrees that if you have a physical copy, you should be able to play it in perpetuity. But hey, let us know what you think down in the comments below. Should you be able to play these games in perpetuity? Or did Ubisoft make it clear enough that, hey, look, these are all just licenses and you don't really own games and haven't for a long time? Let us know down in the comments below. All right. We got to do it. We got to talk about the thing. Before we get to our next topic, though, if you guys have any topics that you saw in the news or anywhere else, social media this week, go ahead and throw them in the chat, and we'll try and get to those at the end of the show. So yeah, throw those things in the comments. Let us know what you think. With that, Jay, should we deep breath and talk about our next topic?
yes.
All right,
Let's go. Let's
take it
do
away, Jay.
Okay. So first, there were a lot of tariffs, then not so much. And it's only been a week. And the thing that I really, really love about this is that the day before there were no tariffs, right? The White House did an official press release. No, we're not going to get rid of the tariffs. No, we're not going to pause the tariffs. We're going to stand firm on our tariffs. And then less than 24 hours came out and said we're going to pause all tariffs. But
Because
yes,
people,
since our-
quote, got yippee, according to the president.
you better not get yippy or snippy or anything that ends in ippy. Like, it's always bad. Don't do it unless you're like a little ankle biter. I don't really know. I really don't understand this president's language sometimes. But yes, since our show last week, everything might have changed again. And just like a little recap here, tariffs hit, tanked the market. Then the market rebounds with the suspension of tariffs, and then the market takes a crap again. And what's really interesting is that there are a lot of people who are questioning if this is market manipulation. Trump did come out with a tweet saying this is a great time to buy.
Mm-hmm.
AOC is requesting that all Congress members to disclose if they made trades during this time. So, and then also just before I hopped on, I saw where Donald Trump was bragging that Charles Schwab made 2.5. Oh, I can't remember if it's billion. I think billion, 2.5 billion. Please fact check me on that. During this kind of chaotic time, which if you are in his inner circle and you know that he's going to pass tariffs, why would you not sell your stock? And then if you get word that he's going to pause all tariffs and you know the market's going to go up, you're probably going to go buy stocks, which is also illegal, guys. So this is very, very interesting. This is something that we are going to have to like watch a little bit more. But also other key notes here: Nintendo Switch pre-orders delayed. Multiple companies sending emails trying to explain things to their customers. China, dear God, what is going on with China? China, we have like 145% tariffs on China, I believe. China's decreasing the number of US-based movies are allowed to come into the country in response to this 145% tariff placed on China. Yeah, I don't know. Chaotic. All I do know is we need to find Sarah O'Connor. We need to protect her. Her son is the key to our future.
We're just all in on Terminator at this point. Yeah. So here you can see, and then things happened, and they were like, "Oh crap!" And then the market was like, "Okay, we're good." And then, oh, never mind, right? Like yesterday, they were like, "Look at how much the market rebounded after we announced no more tariffs," and then the market took another nosedive today. It was down another 1,000 points today. Another 2.5%. The other thing that happened, and there's definitely some very smart people out there covering this. One of the reasons they backed off the tariffs very fast was that the bond market in the United States started taking a crap, right? And what that meant was that overnight, before they rescinded the tariffs, Japan started dumping all their bonds, right?
Yeah.
And everything went upside down in the 10-year notes and everything else. And everybody went, oh crap, that's not good.
And to be honest, like, it's never good to lose a bond. Like, we've been kind of in who's going to be the next Bond? Where's James Bond? I don't really know. We can't lose any bonds.
We need all
Who's
the bonds.
Bond right?
Yeah, well, Japan sold a bunch of their bonds and caused our bond market and our currency to go absolutely haywire. I mean, you can see literally today. Here, I'll bring this up for the thing. That is the US dollar value against the yen. And as you can see, it went whee right off this big cliff right here. Right? That's not the shape that you want it to be in. Right? It's bad. It's real bad. And I think the problem is you just don't know. Here's us against the yen. Again, I would point out to the large shape downward thing that just happened. Even if they rescind the tariffs, even if they do all this, I don't think it helps anybody. And I think the reason the market took a dive today is I think that it is just chaos. Right? And literally businesses, consumers, nobody knows what to do. You know, so businesses can't even forecast.
Yeah.
Right?
There
you go. There's the yen. It's ugly. Like, and I know my wife has been complaining because apparently she's just been jumping through all kinds of hoops trying to deal with tariffs on all the stuff that they bring in that are parts for the stuff that they manufacture here, right? Because we don't make the pieces here. We just build the thing here. But that surely shot your bill of materials through the roof.
So this is kind of the thing. I was talking to someone whose son voted for Trump and whose son is a Trump supporter. And they were happy about the tariffs. They were like, yes, we should build more in the US. The issue with that is that no matter how you go about it, like, yes, we should build more in the US. I do agree with that. But you have to be prepared to pay a lot more for everything. Because one, you're still going to have to import supplies, which is going to, oh my gosh, have a tariff on it. And then you're going to have to pay labor, like US standard labor, to build everything. So I don't really understand this concept that people have in their minds of like, oh, these tariffs are going to actually like drive prices down. Everything is going to become cheaper for us.
Well, and this is that like alternate information reality. Before the election, there were so many Trump supporters who really believed, because he kept telling them, the other country pays it. The other country pays it. The Chinese pay it. They other pay it. And there's been so many people that have had to, now that this is actually going into effect, right? There's so many people that have had said, guys, They don't pay this. We pay this. Right? This is us. You know, and I think that message is finally starting to get through is the foreign countries don't pay the tariff. We pay the tariff when we import. Also, no industrial policy, which means how long does it take? Oh, this was my favorite comment. I saw somebody comment this on a video. They were like, well, how long would it take? This was in relation to the Switch. How long would it take Nintendo to move their manufacturing to Ohio? Like 2 or 3 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, do you know how long it takes to build a factory?
Yeah. Oh God. Building a mega chip factory in Ohio is going to take years. Like years and years. Like that's not, I don't know. That's not a pop-up tent thing. Like that's going to take time.
Yeah. It's amazing to me. Again, I think the chaos and the fact that he was literally, and I saw a mashup where it was like his press secretary being like, everybody's like, is there any chance to pause him? Anything like that? And she's like, no, we're not going to pause it. It's staying. I just talked to the president about this a few minutes ago. The next day. So you pause the tariffs. It's the art of the deal. But nobody's given us a deal yet. But it is. Right?
What deal? Where's the deal at?
Yeah, like please explain to me what deal you just made because we don't know. Yeah. Again, I think the other thing too is because they flip-flop so fast that nobody knows because he could literally go out and change his mind tomorrow. He'd be like, "Fuck it, I'm putting 40% tariffs on France because reasons."
Yeah, I don't really know. It's gonna be to me the interesting side of this is going to be if anything is actually done about like insider trading.
Oh come on, you know they're not going to pass anything about that.
I don't know.
They're too busy making it so married women can't vote.
I don't know. I think AOC is gonna like kind of twist that point home, and she's gonna be the squeaky wheel.
She might be, but I have no faith. I have no faith. I do have faith in their ability to be corrupt.
I mean, yeah.
You know. So what do you think? Like let's make our wild predictions. All right. So it's Thursday. We have the tariffs come and he tariffed the penguins. The tariffs went into effect and the market tanked. So what happens by next Thursday? Do we have tariffs or not? And sub question, have the tariffs on China increased even more beyond the 145% they are right now? Or does he back off the China tariffs by next Thursday?
I think things are going to intensify between us and China. I think tariffs are going to go up. And by next Thursday, by this showtime next Thursday, we are going to have the newer version, I believe, the most recent version of Red Dawn. We're going to get invaded.
By the Chinese.
Which I think in the remake of Red Dawn, I think it was North Korea.
It was North Korea. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the remake.
How did that happen? I don't.
No one knows. Right. The original Red Dawn, I would like to point out, I believe was in Spokane. Or was that the remake? One of them was in Spokane. Like, why did you invade Spokane? Right? Like, of all the places you could invade, why invade Eastern Washington? Which Red Dawn was in Spokane?
Because it's on the coast.
It was the remake. It was the remake. The remake of 2012 remake of Red Dawn was set in Spokane, Washington. Right? Like, North Korea. Why are you invading Spokane? You just went past Seattle, past Tacoma. Like, nah, we don't need that. We're taking Spokane first. Because that is hundreds of miles from the ocean.
And we need their crops.
Their apples.
Yeah. Their apples. I don't. Oh, Yeah, that I think actually probably if we really dig deep into the storyline, you're gonna find that um they were after really not to like take over America, but they were after that Cougar Gold.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, which those of you that do not know, WSU makes Cougar Gold, which is like a special type of cheese that they produce there at their college.
Which we're gonna need because we can't import cheese anymore.
Why? Wait, time out. Why do we need to import cheese? Don't we have like Wisconsin, the cheeseheads for that?
Yeah, but we want that good fancy French cheese and the other cheese.
I mean, I do.
Chad is a fan of the Cougar Gold.
Yeah, Cougar Gold. Here we go. Yeah, that's one of the very few things I think Wazoo has going for it. I don't know. Are you so Alex? Are you a UW or a WSU fan?
I went to Seattle Central College, so neither.
Wow. Okay. Well. Wow. Way to pick a side of the fight there, bud.
I have no dog in the fight. I have none.
No dog. What about a cougar? Do you have a cougar?
No, I have no. I have neither dog nor cat in the fight.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, let us know what you think. What are your predictions for next week?
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. That's the prediction for next week.
What are your predictions for next week?
I think he will back off the China tariffs by next Thursday. I don't think he's got the guts.
Like, what do you think's awesome about?
I don't think he's got the guts, and I think the Chinese will start dumping our bonds.
Okay.
And I think that they will. The Chinese are better positioned to be like, look, we can cut you off. We don't care. We know hardship, and we can do hardship better than you. And I think that, like, if in a battle of who can deal with more pain economically and with their populace, I think the Chinese win. Because I think we're weak.
Damn.
So I think he backs out the tariffs by next Thursday. But we're going to find out. Leave your predictions in the comments below. Let us know. Is it Red Dawn or the trade war is over? All right. Once again, we got some new viewers in the chat. If you've got any topics that you saw in the thingy, let us know in the chat, and we will sit down and we will try and get to those at the end of the show. The next one is a requested topic from our Discord channel. If you haven't joined our Discord channel, join our Discord channel. It's pretty cool. The link in the comments below.
Is that another porn topic?
No. We're going to get back to those probably next week. Kerrygold, you know what? The Kerrygold butter went up in price, and I'm pissed about it. Because we're Kerrygold Irish butter, Kerrygold Irish butter. Oh my god, it's so good, so good.
Look it up at it.
Neither YouTube chat saying neither Red Dawn nor end of trade wars. Right. Again, the other meme that I've seen is that the opening crawl from episode 1. Right.
Oh no.
Yeah, where they're like a trade dispute, right? The taxation of trade routes now like starts this dispute. And years ago, everybody made fun of it, like, why would taxation of trade be a war thing, George? And now everybody's like, shit.
Also, I remember why are the aliens like very Chinese, George?
It's true.
Oh, that's weird now.
Yep. See, look, watch. Here we go. We have the opening crawl for the Phantom Menace, right? Oh. And it goes straight to taxation of trade routes. Yep. So
okay.
Everybody made fun of George for basing his wars on trade taxes, but he was right all along.
So, hear me out.
Go ahead.
If If you are correct, Alex, Donald Trump is a genius.
No, he's a paper tiger and a
Yeah. Oh,
wuss.
yeah. What? Yeah, totally. We're gonna get Jedis and a Death Star and the X-Wing. I've always said if the Air Force comes out, which I guess now it's a Space Force, if the Space Force comes out with an X-Wing, I don't care how unlogical that is, fucking I'm signing up.
Well,
I will
there.
enlist into the Space Force or Air Force.
To fly
Like,
an X-Wing.
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I would probably blow up in the trench run, but it would be worth it.
Somebody in the YouTube chat, their prediction is it's like we're at the end of the first act of Dune. The Atreides have been slaughtered, and we have dumb Sardaukar going yee yee at Cabela's.
Oh my god!
Thank you for that. Thank you.
All of these movies are so accurate all of a sudden.
It really is. Speaking of movies, our next topic is about movies. A request from Discord. A Minecraft movie, as of today's recording, has grossed $343 million plus in its first 7 days in theaters. And quite frankly, between this, the success of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and everything, the debate about video game movies being just automatic crap should be over. So going over to our live read from Box Office Mojo, $343,902,000 worldwide in less than 7 days. That is a hell of a box office take. That's amazing. To reference our Super Mario Brothers made $1.36 billion worldwide. Right? That was its worldwide take. Wow. Sonic the Hedgehog not quite as impressive, but still not bad. $491 million for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So, pretty good. Pretty solid box office. So, Jay, do you think that the trend of video game movies automatically are garbage, flops, is that trend finally over?
I always thought that was fake news. Like, I always thought the 90s Super Mario Brothers movie was an awesome movie.
Yes, but it did not do very well.
Yeah. I think it just took time for like movie producers and stuff to actually like really learn how to make a video game movie work. However, as chat pointed out, you still kind of get movies like the Borderlands, which
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we did have that Assassin's Creed movie, which was not very good. The Uncharted movie.
I don't like that. I kind of liked both of those, actually.
So for reference, the original 1993 Super Mario Brothers with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo made $20.9 million.
Which back then was pretty good, right?
No.
Right?
No.
Was that their opening day? Their opening out?
That was their entire box office run.
Like inflation, that's like $3 trillion now, right?
Yeah. Detective Pikachu was good. I liked Detective Pikachu.
I loved it.
Somebody brought it up in the chat. I enjoyed Detective Pikachu. How much did Detective Pikachu make? I actually think it did pretty well.
It better have. It's
yep, $450 million. Pretty solid.
Are we getting a sequel to that or
I have no idea. I'll be honest.
I don't know.
Justice Smith. So yeah, is that trend over? Like do video game movies at least have a fighting chance nowadays?
Okay. I don't even know anymore. I don't know anymore. I had this conversation at work today. I think something happened. I think I either like got in a coma somehow, or B, I died and then like got freaking I'm in a different like parallel universe or something. Because things just don't make sense to me anymore. Like flat out, do not make sense anymore. Fast and the Furious movies should not freaking still be a thing. I'm sorry. I don't understand how the fuck that franchise is still making movies and making money. That does not make any sense to me. Um, so anything, I feel like anything is fair game. I don't really know. I think if the characters are big enough, maybe that's it. Like Borderlands, like not a whole lot of people knew what Borderlands were, like compared to Minecraft, Pikachu, um, freaking insert any of the other ones that were really, really good. But yeah, I don't know.
For what it's worth, the Minecraft movie was not well reviewed.
Yeah, but everyone plays freaking Minecraft. Like,
That's true. It is currently sitting at, see, and this is one of those ones where the audience and the critics do not agree. 47% critic rating, 88% audience rating.
holy shit.
The audience really likes this movie.
So like 8-year-olds really loved the movie.
Again, it's all verified ratings, right?
I will say I'm heavily biased against the Minecraft movie. I think it does look funny, but I don't like Minecraft in general.
I'm not a big fan of Minecraft in general, but credit to them. And if they have a decent second weekend, they're going to do really, really well. Again, it's only been out a week right now. So good for Warner Brothers. Congratulations, Warner Brothers, for getting that out there. I think Warner Brothers needed a win. Have reviewers ever given Jack Black a good rating? Yeah, I think like School of Rock. He's had some movies that really that were fairly, yeah. School of Rock was really well reviewed. I'm sure I could find some other ones where he's gotten some good reviews. So pick that for what it's worth. Excuse me, I am like yawning and sneezing like mad today. I apologize. All right, so to kind of round this segment out, if you had to pick one video game to turn into a movie, like if they announced this game was being made into a movie tomorrow, you would like jump for joy.
I'm going to go with Marvel Rivals so I can see more magic. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
They put magic in a movie already.
Yeah, I want to see more magic.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me think about this. Let me think. Video game. Hang on. I'm going to have to actually like, hang on.
You got to pull up like a Steam library and like this. So
it's loading. I don't know. What about you, chat? What video game?
I'm seeing a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah.
YouTube chat, I think, has got one of the most interesting ones, which is Chrono Trigger.
Okay, that wasn't for that video game, but as soon as I opened up my Steam library, I figured out which movie I would want.
All right. Go ahead. What is it?
Either The Forest or Sons of the Forest, because I love that video game.
Okay, I haven't actually played that one.
Really? That's like my go-to. Yeah. Shit.
Somebody in the chat brought up Legend of Zelda. They're doing that right now. They're working on it right this second. They talked about it at CinemaCon. We didn't really cover it. Because there's not a lot to say right now about it, but they covered it at CinemaCon. It comes out in March of 2027.
Is it live?
It's live action.
Oh, crap.
Yep. So that is coming. So, yeah, anybody who's like, I want to see, live action Legend of Zelda, that's happening. So take that for what it's worth. If I had to pick a video game, I almost want to steal that Chrono Trigger one. That would be interesting. And I think you could do it in one movie. Like, it'd be a long movie, but I think you could do it in one movie. So yeah, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to go with Chrono Trigger. Good job, YouTube chat. Holy smokes, that's a good one. Is it a real fantasy film? Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the same production company that did Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. So, they're working on it. It's happening. How would one do Myst? Very slowly, because Myst is a very slow game. I don't know if you could get people to watch a movie based on Myst. All right. What movie would you like to see them make? Obviously, video game movies can make money now. They can do really, really well. What video game movies would you like to see them make? Or video games would you like to see them make into movies? Let us know down in the comments below. I would have said Fallout before the Fallout show came out.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
But now we have a Fallout show. And we have a Last of Us show, which comes back on Sunday.
Oh, yep.
Right?
Oh boy.
Have you played? Did you play Last of Us 2?
I have not.
Oh, it's gonna get controversial. I think there is a non-zero sum chance that the Last of Us 2 season 2 loses half of its audience.
I don't
halfway
know.
through the season.
I will
I think-
say that.
I think that the anger they had at Ned Stark getting beheaded at the beginning of Game of Thrones ain't got nothing on the anger and pissed offness they're going to have in season 2 of Last of Us.
However, I will counter you because if you recall, something that was not in the video game, I did not play the video game, but I know it wasn't in the video game because everyone told me it was not in the video game, was the backstory of oh gosh,
The Prepper guys?
Ron Swanson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that whole episode, people were like, it was so funny to me because people were like, look, I'm not homophobic, but that's not in the video game, and what the fuck?
That was the best episode of the first season.
I just loved you had like real Ron Swanson, like if he was just the last person on Earth for like the first part of that episode, like because he was just driving around, going to Home Depot, building shit, fucking. I was like, dude, this is like straight up just Ron Swanson in like a zombie apocalypse. He had a boat for no fucking reason. Yeah,
Chat side, there is one element, there's one event in particular, because regardless of the stuff they added, season 1 held to like the general thrust of the game, right? They didn't make any major like huge changes. There is a thing that happens in Last of Us 2 in the video game that, again, I think is going to drive the audience away.
I don't like this. Like, now I have to know, like, how far into the video game is it?
In the video game, it's early.
Oh.
If they follow the same trajectory as season 1, it'll happen by the end of episode 2.
Oh, sweet.
And then everyone's going to stop watching.
Last of Us.
It's about to get ugly. I'm curious. Somebody in the YouTube chat is fan casting our theoretical Chrono Trigger movie, and I like that. So
that's funny.
I'll give you Taika Waititi as Robo. I'll give you Walton Goggins as Frog. I don't think Emma Roberts is now too old to play Marley. And honestly, the ones you picked for Chrono, Will Poulter, Eddie Redmayne, they're both too old. Chrono's got to be like young. He's young in that game. He's like high school age, honestly. Maybe a little older. But yeah, you got to go young. All right. Should we move on to our next goofy topic, Jay? This was you, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, video games. We're talking about video games, right?
We are still in the general range of video games, so go for it, Jay.
Perfect. Hello there. Now, Alex, what's the hardest boss you've ever faced in a video game?
Ooh, I mean, honestly, it's probably got to be Ruby Weapon from the original Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. Have you ever like rage quit a game?
Like when I'm by myself and like just frustrated.
Sure, yeah. We will count that because we did not have live streaming back in our day.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I've been like, you know what, F this, I'm done, I can't. I have, actually, yes, I have rage quit games and been like, you know what, I'm done playing this now, I tap out. Yes. In fact, I remember the first game it was.
Oh, shit, what was it?
It was Battletoads on the original Nintendo. That stupid bike level on Battletoads on the original Nintendo. Like, it was awful. Awful. First time ever rage quit.
Wow. Damn. But you haven't like rage quit in front of like millions of people though.
Oh no.
Live streaming.
No.
Okay. Well, that's exactly what happened to Elon Musk. He decided to play some Path of Exile 2, and it went so great. Such a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, this is better than the cult classic The Room. It's better than the 90s Super Mario movie. It's better than the live action Dragon Ball Z movie. It was so good. If you recall, and we did not cover this, were we even we were a podcast back then. Yeah, we did not cover this, but in January it emerged that Elon Musk had cheated playing video games. He claimed that he's like mastered these video games, but it turned out that he was actually hiring people to level up his characters, all while hiding the fact that he could actually barely play these games at all.
Yeah.
Kind of gross, but the funny thing is, he got caught by doing this because supposedly his character in Exile 2 was playing at the same time during Donald Trump's inauguration, which he was there in person.
Yep.
Which I don't know if this proves like he is a cheater or the fact that he's like a cyborg, because I think we've all at this point have seen him like malfunction and just do some really weird, like, I don't know, twitching out moments. So maybe he is. Maybe he was standing there and also locked into the video game. I don't know. Legalized comedy. Now, obviously, Elon Musk has been trying to market his satellite-based broadband service, Starlink. I'm not sure if any of you are aware of. I've heard a lot about it out here in Washington State. And as a way to kind of try to promote this and also try to pull people away from Twitch onto X. That's not a joke. That I really don't understand why.
We'll come back to that. Let's finish off with what happened.
Get to the story. It was, of course, he decided to do a couple of things. One, prove Starlink's capabilities. Second, prove that he was a grandmaster in a video game. The result was like everyone watching Elon Musk get murdered over and over and over by a tutorial boss. Like it was fucking Groundhog's Day.
And that's a tutorial boss. You're not supposed to lose to the tutorial boss.
Especially as someone who's like mastered the game, which don't worry though. Alex, I can see that you're worried. You're very concerned about Elon Musk. Luckily, he had thousands of his fans that rallied and tried to support him. during this tough time saying, all caps, you have no real friends and you will die alone. Elon, it's me, Ashley St. Clair. I have no other means of contacting you, so I bought this game early access just for this. Please pay your child support. So like, luckily he had, that support of his fans is blasting his chat nonstop. And I will say, like, we should not promote cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is bad, and we do have a problem. Unless the person being bullied does things like, I don't know, a Nazi salute during a political speech, or call the rescue divers pedophiles, or make fun of people's pronouns, or make fun of people being deported, or insert one of the other
Or
endless...
say his trans child is dead.
Yeah. Then it's probably okay.
Yeah.
Like, cyberbullying's probably okay. Anyways, this is I don't know. I died laughing reading this story.
I heard a lot about this. I think it's a symptom of a few things, right? One is Elon narcissism, right? Elon is trying to be the uber alpha nerd, but powerful all at the same time. And the problem is, look, dude, you run like 3 companies and pretend and are running the country at the same time. Like, I know you don't got time for video games right now, right? You got to have 6 more children and, run the government into the ground and, have Starlink and Tesla and SpaceX and all your stuff. So you don't need to prove your gaming bona fides. Like, I don't know why this starts with him trying to prove his gaming bona fides, which is how this started. Was he like, I'll show you, da 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 da. And then he gets murked by the tutorial boss. Also, Elon, you know better than this. You're going to get, and part of what I heard he rage quit, like that the chat was distracting him because it was so toxic, right? There was just no positivity in there for him to like feed on when he was streaming. And look, dude, you're right. We shouldn't, and I don't promote cyberbullying as a general rule of thumb. Elon, you are at the level, the world, where you shouldn't be doing a fucking live stream. Okay? Especially not without 19 mods and like a production team behind you. Like, I don't know what you're doing. So you kind of deserve what you got. Like, it's funny because it's almost beyond parody. Like, it's a bad Saturday Night Live sketch.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, somebody in the YouTube chat brought this. Elon has the wealth of a Venetian spice merchant, the responsibilities of a TLC reality star, and the mental maturity of a middle school gym class. That's pretty close to the truth. That's about right. Yeah. Again, I don't know what the hell he's doing this.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And when I first saw the story, I was like, fact check. I was like, hang on, timeout.
This can't be right? I
was like, there's no way in hell he thought it would be a good idea to live stream him playing a game where he can't beat the tutorial boss. Like, there's no way in hell he's that dumb. I was wrong.
And here's the other thing. I don't think somebody pointed this out. There's been a few clips of him going around because he's much more in the public eye now that he's working with Trump.
Yeah.
I am starting to believe the idea that he has a severe ketamine addiction.
Oh,
right.
Shit.
Like, I am starting to buy into that narrative that he has dug himself a deep K-hole. He has a deep ketamine addiction and he's lost it. Again, I've seen side-by-sides of like tweets from like 2022, right? Where Elon's talking about Tesla being the most LGBTQ plus like friendly company on the planet, right? And he's like, trans rights are human, da-da-da-da-da. I don't know. And again, I can only presume at this point that it is a combination of mental health and drug addiction. Right? Because you can get crazy, stupid rich and not be this far out in the public eye and not be this crazy. Again, look at Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Paul Allen, all these mega rich guys who are nowhere near in the public profile the way Elon sticks himself there.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think he believes that he's the grand poobah uber nerd and the king of the geeks, and I think that he's trying to put out that idea, you know. And this YouTube chat comment: remember when rich people just had weird habits, lived as reclusive shut-ins, and would emerge cash cicada-like to announce they were going to hunt for Atlantis or some other harmless crap? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Howard Hughes. We and again, look what happened with Howard Hughes. Right? Super brilliant, mega smart guy, and went fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's how we ban billionaires, right? Is we go, look, guys, just realize that when you become a billionaire, you go insane. You know? And that's all there is to it.
Maybe when you become a billionaire, either A, you're shipped off to an island that has no internet, so no one can ever fucking hear or see you ever again. So you can just go crazy in the quietness. Or you just get fucking shipped off to Mars. There you go.
I'm telling you, and I'm quoting a stand-up comic. I'm trying to remember who it was that said this. I think it was Lewis Black, right? Look, anything over $1 billion, we take from you, right? 1 billion, you can have one single billion, right? None of this 200 billion shit. Okay, you get a plaque that says you win capitalism, and then we name something after you. Like, but you're done at that point, and maybe that will stop these guys from going completely crazy. So, chat brought something up that we'll get to in another segment. Because it kind of relates back to the tariffs thing and things like that. I don't know. Do you have anything else to add to this story, James, besides the fact that, you know, some people deserve it and Elon might be one of them?
Oh, no. He 100% fucking deserves it. I'm sorry. Like, and I don't like saying that. Like, I don't say that for a lot of people. But the things that he has said and done, the people that he has made fun of,
the damage he's done to his kids, that right there, that's the one that really bothers me. I've listened to a lot of what his daughter, who is trans, has said, and how Elon has been for a decade more. That right there alone to me is enough to say Elon deserves disdain.
Yeah. I don't know. He started off really, really good. Making electric cars kind of cool.
Starlink, I hear, is a good service.
Starlink, landing, reusing rockets.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like a
SpaceX
huge
is dope.
thing for space travel.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, he started off so cool, and we were talking about this at work. He was like an icon for like engineering. Like, I know he's not an engineer.
Yeah, he was in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, like
cameoing in Marvel movies as like a good guy.
Yeah. And people kind of called him like a real life Tony Stark for a little bit. Like, people are like, holy shit, like, he's super rich and he can get shit done. And he's also kind of nerdy. Like, he leans into it a little bit. And then fast forward to today, and it's like, and I have not heard the theory that he like has a drug addiction, but like, it's starting to make sense now. Like, because there was just like this really weird change with Elon. Yeah, I don't know. He started off so good, and now it's just like, I don't really care. Like, I don't care if you get made fun of and you have to rage quit a video game that you cheated at and you said that you were like a master at and you tried to prove that you were and you got freaking owned by a tutorial boss and everyone was making fun of you. I have zero fucks for you. Like, good. Like, keep doing that shit. Like, I don't know. Yeah,
It's sad.
that's my thoughts.
Yeah, it's sad. Anyway, let us know what you think down in the comments below about this whole Elon video game situation. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said, if the GOP want to return to the 1950s, let's go back to 1950s tax brackets. So this is the thing that I want to bring up to you guys. And for a long time, I couldn't figure out, right? I was like, MAGA, when the fuck are you guys trying to go back to? It's not the 1950s. And actually, Trump's been giving away the goat, right? And this is what's funny, and this is, again, going to kind of come around to our tariffs discussion and things like this, right? Is within the last week, you've heard a lot of CEOs and other people come out and go, I didn't think Trump was actually going to do it. We didn't think he was serious, right? We thought it was hyperbole. Listen, this motherfucker does not know how to spell hyperbole, okay? He doesn't, okay? He is telling you exactly what he wants to do. The difference between Trump 1 and Trump 2 was there legit was like establishment Republican, like sane types in the White House during his first term. Remember all those stories about people stealing papers off his desk and doing quiet things to undercut everything he wanted to do? I more believe, and YouTube chat's actually got it. I more believe those stories now than I ever did in his first term. I think it's true. He's telling you what he wants to do, and YouTube chat said it. He keeps talking about McKinley. McKinley. What the fuck is he talking about McKinley, who was the 25th U.S. president, and quite frankly, he was assassinated, right? And quite frankly, again, most people wouldn't know who the hell McKinley was, okay? McKinley was one of those guys that believed in American imperialism. He was the one that made American imperialism a thing. Under his presidency, we annexed Hawaii, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa. Oh, look. And his big thing, he loved the tariffs. Man, he loved the tariffs, right? MAGA means 1890s. Okay? It's this Rockefeller golden age, 1890 to just before World War I, right? Call it 1890 to 1915. This is the era where they're like, look how great it was. This is what MAGA really means. And again, he's giving away the goat. He's saying it out loud. You just got to listen. You know, yeah, it's all Gilded Age shit. Monopolies and tycoons. And why wouldn't Donald Trump love that? Right? Jay, what are your thoughts?
Oh, fuck. That's it. That's my thought. Just fuck. Bad. This is not good. We need, to make Dog Dad really happy. We need a Superman to combat our Lex Luthor that we have over here.
I mean, it kind of goes back to our last segment. Could one of you billionaire motherfuckers become Batman or Iron Man and stop turning into Lex Luthor? Like, seriously, where the fuck is Batman? Yeah, look, man, Rockefeller. He loves Rockefeller. The only thing he doesn't want to do is the good things that Rockefeller did. Rockefeller founded the University of Chicago. Right?
Wow.
These rich motherfuckers back then, they at least had the thought process to go, you know what? I should probably build a museum and a university so people don't think I'm a complete asshole. Right?
Yeah.
The Met in New York was built and funded, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, by a bunch of rich fools who were like, you know what? We should do something to give back. Not anymore. You know. So he wants the environment that made Teddy Roosevelt without the social norms that kept Teddy from going full Hemingway. Yeah, something like that. You know. We actually got through all our planned targets. This has been a...
Well, you should.
The sad thing is, and I think, Jay, you would agree with this, it's been a weirdly slow news week in that all the news is centered around like two things.
Yeah.
And just not a lot else has happened.
Yeah.
Some other, I had some notes on some stuff. Oh, apparently portions of Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie is actually a dude in a costume. It's not mocap.
Oh.
It's like dude where they filmed him to look giant, like he's in the actual fucking suit. In the Galactus suit. With the fucking helmet.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I want Superman to be real right now. Yeah, it'd be nice. Look. And you know what came right after the Gilded Age? The temperance movement, which again is just like the evangelicals. Do you know who caused prohibition? It was evangelical Christians. It was evangelical Christians who were like, the devil's drink. And they got a constitutional amendment passed to ban booze. That's what it was, chat.
It worked.
What's that?
We see how that fucking worked out.
Yeah. And again, look what we're seeing. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. You know, it rhymes. So, yeah. Yeah. All right, Chad, if you've got, Star Wars Expanded Universe comics. Honestly, Dog Dad, you said you were reading Heir to the Empire. That's probably the best one. Oh, actually, sorry. There's one more. The Tales of the Jedi, I think it was. Yes. The one called Star Wars Tales of the Jedi from Dark Horse Comics. That's probably my favorite Star Wars comic book from the old canon. It's about like the Great Hyperspace War and like when they first go to hyperspace. It's like 1,000 years before Luke Skywalker. You know, it's a long fucking. It's pre Knights of the Old Republic. Tales of the Jedi is good. So, somebody's mentioned Ken Burns' Prohibition documentary. That's a very good documentary. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. There's a whole episode about Seattle on that documentary. Because we were a major import point for illegal booze from Canada. Which goes back to our topic last week about organized crime.
Alex, I kind of want to do a running series
on organized crime.
No, maybe like the first podcast of the month, right? We do like a history of Seattle. Like we cover like a chapter in the history of Seattle. Like focused on around maybe like organized crime, something. I don't, because there's a lot of history here. I'm watching well, it's coming out week by week, but I'm watching the Happy Face Killer show that's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
There was the Green River Killer. Yeah, and there's so much history here in Seattle. I think we can kind of like pick some like topics and subjects and just like maybe the first podcast of each month we do like some sort of deep dive into a different part of Seattle history.
Chat, let us know in the Discords and various places if you'd be interested in that. I'm down for it, but I want to do like, again, I want to do crime and shit that's not normally covered in that.
Yeah.
YouTube chat, Ahsoka season 2 when? They started filming about 2 weeks ago. They are filming Ahsoka season 2 right now. They had to replace the guy who played Balin Skull because he died. So we actually covered that story, I think.
Yep. We did, yeah.
Because it's one of his best friends is taking the role as the guy who played the Hound, is now going to be Balin Skull in Ahsoka Season 2. Acolyte Season 2, when? Never. They're not going to make another one. I wish they would, because I think that's one of those ones that they could have fixed in Season 2. But as far as I know, it's officially off the table. It's not happening.
It was the first time we saw. Oh God, what was his name? Shit,
Plagueis.
I'm blanking right now. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I do wish they would do a season 2. I do love watching a series of the I don't know, the universe's like worst Jedi ever.
I think that the story would have been better told from the perspective. Like, I think, and I had presumed when they announced the Acolyte, and this is probably my own fault. My presumption is that it was going to be told primarily from the perspective of the Sith, right?
That would be cool.
That's not what we got. I want to see it from Manny Jacinto's perspective. I want him to be the main character. And I think if you take Manny Jacinto's character from Acolyte, who I thought he did a great job. Put the show aside. You didn't have to like the show. He was great. Right? I think Manny Jacinto was top notch. And I think if the show would have been told from his perspective and the Apprentice girl's perspective, I think it would have been a better show. But yeah, they're never making one. Again, Ahsoka Season 2 is being filmed as we speak. It's in production right now. So I think it comes out later this year or early next year. But I'm not 100. I don't know if they've given 100. Yeah, they're saying late this year, early next year. Probably right after Mandalorian and Grogu. Maybe.
Probably, yeah.
I honestly don't know. Again, I don't know how it's going to tie into Mandalorian and Grogu. So, good question. I'm looking forward to Mandalorian and Grogu. I hope I hope that's just a working title, and they come up with a better title before that fucking movie comes out. Our first Star Wars movie in like 7 years. Ahsoka maybe for post-Halloween. Maybe. I actually think that Disney's kind of got a lot of their content's very front-loaded this year. Like, they're done with movies in July. Fantastic Four is the last thing that's coming out this year.
Shit.
I know Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is filming right now. There's been set leaks. Doomsday is filming right now. There's been set leaks. Grogu eats everything. Yeah. Again, I think the title's fucking dumb. Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Sounds like a 90s cartoon.
Is there a way for us, the viewers, to see both Twitch and YouTube chat?
I mean, you could... no. Not easily. I would have to give you access to our Restreamio. Jay can't even see both of them at the same time unless he's got them open in 2 different windows. I have the ability to look at both because the way that my production box is built, like the way that our stuff is built out in our producing screens for the stream, I see like sometime I'll take a picture of it. I'll take a picture of it and post it on Discord later, but this is what both my screens look like.
Let's all take a selfie.
While I'm producing the show. So on this side of my screen is the control panel for the actual stream itself. right? I can see whether we're missing frames and what speed we're at, like what internet speed everything's being uploaded at and everything else. All the technical stuff is over there. I have the rundown dock right next to it. I look at my camera is aligned with me and Jay, so when I'm looking at Jay, it looks like I'm kind of looking at my camera, right? And then over here is the channel controller for all the different channels we stream to simultaneously. And then on the far side is the chat, which I've got a separate chat window because of how it's programmed in OBS that lets me look at both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So I see both chats simultaneously. I can reply to both simultaneously, but it would look weird to either chat because it would look like I'm replying to somebody who's not talking. Or I could pick one to reply to at a time. It's weird.
And then my setup is completely fucking different. I have
an OctoKitty.
I have a screen here, which half is me watching on YouTube and half is me watching on Twitch. Here, it's right here, is actually a teleprompter. So I actually have our rundown doc put into a teleprompter so that like I'm actually like right now I don't have the teleprompter open. I'm actually looking at Discord, but I can read off the teleprompter and I'm staring directly into the camera. And then I have a monitor up here that has like OBS settings, my teleprompter settings, and then some other stuff off to the side. But yeah.
Yeah. Suffice it to say, when we have this running, there's a lot of weird windows everywhere on both our screens. I like what YouTube chat there. Jay just views a single chat because denial and control are fun kinks.
Single chat?
Denial and control are fun kinks. Yeah, because you deny yourself the two.
Oh. Yeah.
And they're getting to know you. And fun kinks.
Yeah. I like fun kinks.
As done in chats, there's some things to get there rather confusing, rather fast. Yes. Especially on really active chat nights, it can get a little wonky to watch. Scream typing into a Second Life chat room during broadcast. There you go. And yeah, like I said, I can see rendering lag and all that stuff on this screen over there. So I know how fast we're rendering. I can see the audio levels down here. It's just a bunch of windows open. I got my hopes up this week because I heard Titanfall 3 might be releasing, and then got my hopes dashed as they were like, nope, those leaks are fake. And I was like, oh, I want Titanfall 3. You know. So, anything else you'd like to talk about today, Jay?
I don't know.
There's a Grogu hiding behind an Eldari Knight right there. See, Grogu. BB-8's right there.
God.
Next to Super Mario.
I completely redid my setup. I'm not sure if you guys noticed because I'm staring directly into the camera.
You're a little closer to the camera than you usually are.
Yeah, it typically my camera. So I did have my camera above. I had a monitor lower, and I had the camera like up more. But it was so. I didn't like that it was like just looking down. So I wanted kind of your setup more where I was looking directly into the camera. But now the camera is really, really close. I have to play around with it a little bit more.
So you, in my opinion, as far as the camera goes, are what I consider like what in shooting you would call overscoped. Your camera is far too high quality for the level of compression that we're getting in every channel we're at. Like I use a basic 1440p like webcam that just is fine because we get compressed.
Thank you.
Max headroom. What would a reboot look like this century? It would be a takeoff of what's going on with ChatGPT and DeepSeek. It would be an LLM. I would actually like to see that. That might be an interesting reboot.
Oh God, I forgot about this guy. I had to look this.
You had to look. I was like, Jay may not know what we're talking about right off the top of her head.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting take. I wonder who owns the rights to that. That would be an interesting IP to explore if you could get the rights to it. Max Headroom would be interesting. If you did it right, I think it would work.
I didn't know this. He was in the Pixels movie.
That doesn't surprise me. They put a lot of weird references in that movie. Yeah. I think it would be. It appears to be held by All 3 Media in the UK. You might be able to get the rights to that. I don't know how much it would cost. The social media dimension would be wild. Dude, if you had the right production team behind that, you could really do some cool shit in this day and age with Max Headroom. You really could. That's almost inspiring. Like creating a spiritual successor to Max Headroom. Because really all Max Headroom would be is like a really fancy VTuber.
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept. I like it. Yeah, he would still need to look 80s style. Oh yeah, you would have to go retro tech with it. Like you would have to, the design would have to be very retro. Oh, did you see the trailer for Tron Ares?
Oh shit, I have not.
Oh. I am looking forward to this movie. Oh my goodness. Hang on, I'm gonna...
It looks pretty.
Oh, it's gonna be shiny. That's right. Do it. Yeah. Cut the cop car in half with the light cycle.
That's sick.
I'm looking for something.
The only thing I'm like a little sad about
I do not understand.
is Daft Punk is not doing the soundtrack.
Did you see who is?
No, who's doing it?
Oh, keep watching.
I can't hear the sound.
Just keep watching. It's gonna tell you.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna tell you. I love seeing the reclamator above the city. That's so cool. I want to see this really bad. Like, this just looks freaking amazing. I'm a big fan of the Tron series, and I also unabashedly love Tron Legacy. Like, I thought it was good. Here we go. Does he fight for the users is the question.
Because there's no going back.
That looks so dope.
Sure.
I'm just going to show it in here. Music by... Did you see it? I knew it was going to get that face. Yeah. I knew it was going to get that face. When you were like, I'm sad Daft Punk. I'm like, don't you know who's doing it?
Oh, God. Okay. Never mind. Oh, crap.
Yeah. It's Nine Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack.
That looks sick. Wow.
And it's Nine Inch Nails doing the soundtrack.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys snipe that bot in the chat? Feel free. But yes, that's I love Tron. Okay. I love Tron. Tron's going to be great.
When does it come out?
Later this year. November, I think. Jay just had haptic chills. Yeah. Well, I said, when you were like, it's not Daft Punk, I was like, did you not hear? Because I knew. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I thought it was smart of them to get him to do it for the second one. I'm actually glad they're changing it up. Right?
Yeah.
But I like the idea of having one band do the entire soundtrack. Just here. Do the whole thing. Daft Punk, do all of it. Nine Inch Nails, do all of it. And even if you didn't like the movie, that soundtrack for Tron Legacy was fucking great.
It was great, yeah.
It was amazing. I want to see the light cycles. When in the preview, when you see the light cycle cut the cop car in half, I was just like, yes.
It looks so good. Okay, so do we know anything about the storyline of this movie?
So they hinted at this in Tron Legacy, remember? Clue is trying to get into the real world, right? He's trying to get through the portal into the real world,
Yes.
and Jeff Bridges' son, Garrett Hedlund, stops him. Somebody gets into the real world, right? I think that's what we know so far. We hear Jeff Bridges in the trailer, so there's that. I'm kind of curious how they're going to reconcile what happened at the end of Tron Legacy to this.
Remind me again. So the last thing I remember is Sam
Yep.
and
Cora.
Olivia Wilde
Yeah, Cora.
just on a motorcycle, just
Right,
in
they
the-
get out, but she's
Yeah.
the ISO. She's the like spontaneously generated life form inside the system that just kind of came to being in the system, and she
Yeah.
gets out with Sam at the end of the movie. But Clue, because Jeff Bridges stops Clue from getting out by sacrificing himself, supposedly, to stop Clue from going out into the real world, because Clue wants to get to the real world and take over the world, because he's Clue. Yeah. Also, Cillian Murphy is in Tron Legacy. Everybody forgets he's only in it for a second, right? But he is in Tron Legacy. It's in the scene where they're stealing, where Sam's stealing the thing. Cillian Murphy is like the lead programmer guy who's smarter than all of the other ones in the boardroom.
Oh.
Like, where is he? Here he is. Right? So not that dickhead. Right? Sam gets in here. He's going to steal the thing. There's Bruce Boxleitner because he's awesome. See, there he is. It's young Cillian Murphy. Yeah. So everybody forgets, but Cillian Murphy was in Tron Legacy for like a minute. There's a small film that might be a bridge. It was disguised as a fan project. That might be interesting. Michael Sheen steals the damn shot. You got to remind me what scene that was. I liked how Tron Legacy opened, right? With the disappearance of Flynn and all the new stuff, and then Sam jumping off the roof after he like releases the software into the wild, right? Like, and then we get Bruce Boxleitner back to like talk to Sam. Like, it's great. And then he goes to the arcade.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, someday love will find you, and it's like blasting as he turns on the arcade. Someday, do, 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 do. Yeah, it's freaking great. I love that movie. I'm sorry, unabashedly, love that film.
So, do you think, like Olivia Wilde and like Sam is going to be in the second movie?
In the third one?
Or sorry, yeah, the third.
Doubt it.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Like, it feels like this is just going to be like a forget those people. Here's a new cast.
I have seen no confirmation that he is in it. Oh, hey, the guy from Jedi Survivor is in it.
Yep.
I did not know that. I wonder who he's going to play. Yeah, I don't even know what Garrett Hedlund's doing these days. What was the last thing he was in? Daggone. I did some episodes of Tulsa King. One episode of Reservation Dogs. He's just kind of jobbing it. Nothing major. There's a Tron short the next day. Do I think Michael Sheen will be back? I honestly.
15 years ago.
Oh, no. No. He won't be in the movie. No, he won't be in Tron. Legacy. He died in Legacy. I'm like pretty sure. Cause yeah, he's the weird like MC dude in the club. No, I doubt he will be back. Highly doubt it. Yeah, no, that's a no. Again, it looks like at least a large portion of this one takes place in the real world. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually behind on my movie watching though. Next week, Jay, are you caught up on Daredevil? Are we?
I am.
Are we going to be able to? Because the finale is next week.
What?
Yep.
No. Wait. Time out.
Yeah.
No. Hang on. Wasn't there like 10 or 15 episodes for like the old Daredevil show? Like it was a lot.
No, there was 10. It was a standard Netflix 10. Yeah.
What are we getting this time? I feel like it's not 10.
8, I think.
No, that's garbage.
That actually, so I saw a bunch of shit about this, and I may record this segment just so I can maybe edit it later. So you're like, that's garbage. So I saw an interesting TikTok, and I didn't get around to because TikTok you have to be all fast, right, on your replies. But it was this young kid, and she's probably 22, right? She's obviously very younger Gen Zer, right? And she's like, I'm so tired of these 10 episode shows. Why can't we go back to 22 episode? Like all these older shows were 22 episodes and it was great because it gave time for character development and other stuff to happen and da-da-da-da-da. And why can't we go back to it? And I started recording responses, but every one of them came out fucking mean. So, but here, fuck it. We're going to be mean.
Damn.
It's because of you. You are the reason we don't have 22 episode seasons anymore. Because you don't watch television. Okay? There was an economic model for television pre-streaming, right? They would start in the fall and they would end in May or June, right? With some breaks in there for holidays and stuff like that. But you'd always have a holiday episode right before they take like a 2-week hiatus, right? But they had advertisements, right? They had advertisements. And those advertisements were considerably longer than the little 2 30-second runs you get on Hulu now, okay? And it paid a lot of money. And what every show was aiming for was a certain economic model, and it was called syndication. Syndication is when shows started making their money. It typically happened right around the end of their 4th season when they had about 100 episodes. When you had 100 episodes, you could go into syndication. So if your show aired on ABC and it did its 22 episodes for 4 years, right? Then it would be bought by TNT or TBS or USA or one of these other networks that would put it on in syndication in reruns. Then they would sell ads against it, right? And both sides made money. When we move to the streaming model, there's no money. They can't do it. There are still shows that run a standard 22 episode season. Some of them are shortened down to like 18, 19, right? But they are rapidly going away. The number of half-hour, hour-long comedies and dramas that run a full 22 episode season. And then she went on to ask, and why do we have to wait 2 years between seasons? Because the streamers don't know if the show's a success until after it's aired. They don't know. Okay? When you have a 22 episode long season, by about episode 15 in the season, so right around March, right, we would have what was called Sweeps Week, right? And that was when all the shows would run their hardest hitting episodes, the ones that they wanted you to watch, because it set ad rates, and it also was the one that ratings-wise they looked at to see if you were going to be renewed for another season. So in February, March, as the show is running, they've seen your ratings the entire season, right? And they go, hey, it's March. You're renewed for another season. So they stop in June. They take their 3 months off for their break while they're rewriting the next season. And they start filming again in like August, right? The economic model for television is not that anymore, especially for streaming shows like Black Lotus, like Daredevil, like all these shows, right? And the budgets on these shows have gone Okay? Because y'all motherfuckers forgot special effects, camera work, a lot of this shit back in the 90s, it was cheap. Okay? It was cheap. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had like 4 sets, right?
Yeah.
The whole show took place in 4 rooms. Okay? It was the living room, the kitchen, maybe Will's bedroom, and maybe the back pool deck. And Jay's camera died. Right?
No.
Yep. See, these things happen. Okay?
No.
So, the thing that you need to understand, you fucking people, is the reason that we don't have television like we used to is you. It's your fault because you don't watch those shows anymore. I am a guy in his early 40s, so I split the generations. I still watch shows on television. I have an antenna hooked to my TV. I look, I loved it. Okay? I wish we would go back to that at times. But again, you can't get away with it anymore. Okay? It just doesn't happen. Okay? The economic model and how they fund and how they pay for television shows is no longer the same as it was all the way until about 2009, 2010. This is why on network television, they run reality shows and game shows because they're so much cheaper to produce than scripted television, right? And again, a streamer will wait till the entire series, 10-episode thing has aired, look at the viewership numbers, and then decide if they want to renew it, okay? Except in rare cases. So, for example, today, they've already greenlit Last of Us Season 3. That's happening, right? Last of Us Season 2 starts, they're greenlit Season 3. They already did it. They like it. They will pre-greenlit Daredevil Born Again because they were confident in the show. That doesn't happen. Law & Order SVU Till I Die. Law & Order SVU and Law & Order might be two of, like, those are some of the only ones that still exist. And do you know why Law & Order SVU still exists? Because of syndication, right? Because you can find, I guarantee you, if you go look on a cable or satellite provider, there are at least, in the course of the next 7 days, at least 8 channels that will be airing episodes back to back to back to back of Law & Order SVU and selling ads to old people for reverse mortgages, silver with Trump's face on it, and whatever else they can sell in the middle of the damn day. Okay? So, especially to my younger Gen Zers, when you guys are like, man, I watched these on Netflix and like the old shows had all these episodes. Yes, but The Office also filmed in 2 spots. And these shows were a lot cheaper to make. They made a crap ton more of them. Also, the thing you have to remember, and the thing you don't know, is for the crews and the actors, filming on those shows was brutal. Brutal.
Yeah.
You did not take days off from end of July when you would start filming for the September season until Christmas. Then you get a couple weeks. Then you're back at it until May, right? Same for the camera crew, the grips, the lighting guys. Like I have watched a lot of interviews with the guys who talked about that era of television, and it is a brutal, brutal shooting schedule. Because they would film a show a week. Every single week they would film a new episode. Good luck. So, yeah, that's why we don't have nice things anymore, is because we want convenience, we want streaming, we want cord cut, we want cheaper, and this is the penalty. There's Jay, he's back. Just in time to have his commentary. You heard me go on that little mini rant. Anything you pick out of that you think I'm wrong about?
No, it honestly, like, all makes sense. Yeah, sets were so much cheaper. Also, I don't know. I feel like actors probably are not willing to go through the hell that they went through.
Of a 22 episode season, yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal.
There was also a distinct difference between movie actors and TV actors, right? There was a really hard dividing line for most actors. You did not make that jump. Movie actors would not come down to do television because, again, the shooting schedule was too brutal. They were like, fuck you. And it wasn't enough money. It was not enough money and a brutal shooting schedule. And TV actors had a hell of a time breaking out of television into movies. So, absolutely, Pedro Pascal would not do a television show as a lead now or in the old days. Although he was on an episode of Law and Order.
I did not know that.
Dude, everybody was on Law and Order. I think that's like a rite of passage in Hollywood. Like, you have to do at least one where you were either the victim or the bad guy. They actually did a little retrospective at the Emmys, this most recent Emmys of actors on Law and Order. Like, how many famous people? They did a video. I can probably play it. Somebody did. I want to. It was either that or the Globes, but yeah. Yeah. Streaming production models based on the British and Japanese season model, which is different than ours. Again, it was a different economic model, and again, it's brutal. It's why Matthew Perry was addicted to drugs for years, like like he talked about it. He wouldn't have made it through shooting. He was high all the time. You know. Go watch that Friends retrospective they did on HBO Max. Like, they talk a lot of, like, it's tough work.
Yeah.
But that's why we can't have nice things. You know. It's the same argument I have with people who are like, why don't they put rom-coms in theater? Because you guys don't see them, right? Every motherfucker who's like, why don't they do these movies? And Jay and I know this, and again, not sponsored. Get you an AMC A-list thing. There are so many movies out all the time that no one sees.
Yep.
You know, that Looney Tunes, one of the Looney Tunes movies came out. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it. Oh yeah, what did Mickey 17? Mickey 17 is now going pretty much straight to streaming, because it bombed. Now, part of that is advertising is much more difficult now. Oh, it might make its money back. Thank God for the international. Yeah, thank God for the international box office. It might. What was its budget? I don't know what its budget was. There's great movies every year. No, never mind. It's gonna. Never mind. I take that back. Wow, that movie was expensive. 120 million. Yeah, it's gonna lose a shit ton of money. People don't see but big films in theaters anymore. I'm sorry.
But big films.
It's sad, right? I watched that new Zemeckis film with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright last year. Nobody saw that movie. I watched it because, you know, Forrest Gump and da-da-da-da-da. You know, there's movies coming out all the time that nobody watches. And it sucks. It really does. I will not see that Warfare movie. Vampire Hunter D's coming. But yeah, that's why we don't have great rom-coms in theaters anymore. That's why you will not have another When Harry Met Sally, and it's why we don't have 22 episode seasons anymore. Because that's it. I need to get around to watching The Pit. Everybody keeps telling me to watch The Pit.
Oh yeah,
I've heard it's amazing.
I've not watched it. Primarily because of my wife, but I have heard amazing things about it.
So that's the one. Is I have heard, and I've seen some videos from doctors and nurses who are like, this is the most accurate depiction of a fucking hospital ever.
Yeah.
Ooh, Thunderbolts is soon. I'm so looking forward to that. Oh, Cheech and Chong comes out in 2 weeks. I'm going to go see that. I'm going to get high and go see that. I'm going to get really high and go watch the new Cheech and Chong. You should come with me, Jay. We should get high and go watch Cheech and Chong.
If my employer is watching this, I will not. However, Alex, let me know when you're going.
I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to get fucking bombed. Go watch Cheech and Chong. She's like, why? And I'm like, because it's Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, what about White Lotus? I haven't watched it. I have not watched White Lotus.
I am on season 3 of that. I'm trying to.
I have heard some very mixed reviews on season 3.
So, have you watched any of it? Like,
no, I'm familiar with the premise. I know what it's about, but
they are. I will say every season's like really slow. Like the first few episodes, you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then it just slowly builds and builds and builds, and then it, like the last, I don't know, 3 episodes I think are like really intense, but yeah, it takes a while to build.
I've heard mixed reviews about season 3 specifically. They may have pushed it a little too far.
Ooh.
So, somebody else asked something in there. Warfare. Yeah, it's written and co-directed by some guy who was in the Iraq War. I don't watch movies about wars I was in. Everything I'm reading is they're like, it's the most realistic war movie ever. And I'm like, skip it. That's an auto skip for me. Yeah, I will see the new Cheech and Chong. I'll see the new Happy Gilmore. I will go watch that because it's Happy Gilmore. So, all right, ladies and germs, I think we're going to call it for the night. Unless you got something else you really want to chat about. Going once, going twice. Sold. All right. We'll be back next Thursday. Stick around. Again, please, like, for our great viewers, if you can even just throw it up on your Facebooks and Twitters and Instagrams, like just a link, like throw it out there. It really, really helps us. Jay and I met last weekend. We were working on some really cool ideas that I think you guys are really going to like really going to like. But helping us build that audience faster, like that's sadly kind of what we need. Yeah. Jay, say goodnight to the folks.
Good night, folks.
Yes, we will do Daredevil Born Again review. We'll do a full series review next week. But that'll be a couple days after the finale. So we'll be able to go spoilery at that point.
Yeah, I will say, spoiler alert, my review is going to be great. So I just love it. I don't know. I love it.
Look, Disney Marvel needed a win. All right, folks. We'll see you guys next week. We love you, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.